Hey everybody! Just figured I'd jump on and do a little playing. See who's hanging out tonight. We'll take it from there. Yeah. wondering what happened to my drums. They should be playing here. Very weird. Play some guitar though. Anyway, hope everybody's doing good on this Monday. Yeah. Do some playing, hanging out. Looks like we have a decent crowd. Mr. Rock, what do you have in the signal chain? I have only Axe Effects. Yes, sir. Just the Axe Effects. Got it. Fractal. Alright, hey everybody, thanks for being here. Looks like we have a decent amount of people hanging. So let's back up and say hi to everybody. So we have my wonderful wife over on YouTube and over on Facebook 1 and Facebook 2 and of course Twitch. So yeah, hello Twitch family. We have Dwight Bailey hanging out in the house. Hello Dwight. Excuse me, let's see who else is hanging out. Mr. Rock. Yes, sir. Answered your question. Yep. got that one. Yes, yes, yes. And Kevin, hello, Kevin. Thank you. And custom presets, custom patches or factory. That one's a custom. What amp am I using? In fact, I'll show you. It's a crazy preset. It has a whole lot of stuff going on. When I play my Parker Fly, we have an acoustic electric coming in over here on input 3. But input 1 has the usual volume, wah, compression. This pitch is used for, which one is this? Whammy, and this one is for octave and a harmony of a fifth, I believe. And then my favorite pedal in the real world, the BB preamp. I use that in here as well as on my regular pedal board. And then we have phaser. The amp I'm using is the FAS Modern 3, which is really awesome. It's a great amp. And let's see, what else? The cab, I have a combination of stuff. It's really nothing crazy. It's the Petrucci cab and a double verb 2x12. So a 4x12 and a 2x12 mix. And then standard rotary, a trem, the little enhance block, which I don't really use much, so I might just pull this out. It's kind of like the BBE Sonic Maximizer from the 80s, but I don't really use it, so it's kind of just taking up space, so I'll probably delete that in the future. I might even delete it right now since we're here. But anyway, chorus, flanger, delay, multi-tap delay, reverb, then everything goes to a looper, and then an out. And then over here, like I said, this is my input 3, which is my piezo side of the Parker Fly. And I have that drop in right before the multi-delay, so I could have some delay and a little reverb. And then this guy here, block 4, input 4 rather, I should say, is my GR55 input. So sometimes I use that for some sustaining angelic things to play over the top. Yeah. So let's see. I remember from my high school days hanging around Robbie's Music Barn. Yeah, that's right. Wow. That was a long time ago, man. I'm surprised you remember me, but awesome. Yeah, Robbie's. What a fun place that was. Worked there for many years. I had a lot of good times there. Met a bunch of great people, both customers and friends that I've actually still kept in touch with to this day. So, even though it wasn't the best place in the world to work sometimes, I met a lot of great people, which was cool. Let's see, Wayne Hoey, sounds good from SC. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, just hanging out, doing a little playing, and figured I'd go live. Since I'm sitting here playing, I might as well go live and play to somebody instead of playing alone. That's always cool to play to people and hang out. So yeah, if you got any questions about the rig or whatever that I didn't answer, feel free to go for it and ask. I believe I'm still a firmware behind because I've been slacking on the updates lately, which is terrible. I really should be on top of it. And I have no excuse not to be ahead of it because, anyway, we won't even bother. But yeah, Fractal stuff has just been awesome. I've been using them since 2010, I believe. And Larry Mitchell introduced me to Fractal, and then I actually met Matt Bacone, who is a friend of mine who I met through Larry, and he is actually I believe Larry and I met Matt the same night that Larry was doing a clinic at one of the schools where I teach. And yeah, I've met Matt and hung out with him and for years now. He's awesome. He is like so great at programming stuff. He's just awesome. I always love looking at the Fractal forum or Facebook group, I should say. And Matt will answer someone's question on the Fractal forum, and they'll like challenge him, and they don't even know who he is, and they're challenging him in his answer, and I'm just like, he's the guy who wrote the programs. I just find it comical when that happens. It's really funny. And they're like, and then someone will put that person in check and go, do you realize who you just told that you're wrong to? And they're like, oh, that's pretty lame of me. Sorry. Some people don't apologize. They just go with it and keep being annoying. But he's programmed Steve Vai's rig. He's programmed the Edge's rig. I believe when they first started doing stuff with Neil Sean, he was doing it, but Cooper Carter, I believe, took over for him in that department. So Matt is like the guy. He is the guy. He's awesome. Really good dude, too. Can't say enough good things about him and the whole company. Just the Fractal universe is really great. Let's see. Did I miss anybody here? That I'm kind of going on a chatter tangent here. Let's see. Let's see. Custom patches are free. Yep, okay. I answered that. And then Kevin is saying help. Oh boy. All right. I think I got everything. Yeah, all right. Well, thank you, Mr. Rock. Thank you. And it's not that I have any problem with Helix or what's the other one? Neural DSP. It's just I again, like Fractal is way on top of things. They're always putting out new updates that make it not only sound better but feel more realistic. I've demoed this before on my nights on, but I could take it down. And that's the same high gain lead sound that I had on. All I did was roll the volume off with my foot on a volume pedal. And maybe change the pickup a little bit. So you can get a lot of dynamics out of just switching pickups. So that's a little more grit. And if I want some extra off, I could roll down the volume on the guitar even more than what the foot's doing. And then the Pia has a high pass filter here, so I could hear how it got a little muffled sounding. I can pull this up, and now the highs come back in. So I don't know, unless you have earphones on or really good earbuds, you won't really hear the difference there. I think you heard it there. So yeah, you can get a lot of really great, realistic feel and sounds out of the Axe-Fx, so that's really why I like it a lot. I could never get that with my Line 6 stuff for whatever reason. See, and now I can just wave my foot over and have the full lead tone that I had before. Thank you. Yeah, this is swiftly becoming my favorite guitar. I've had it since, I don't remember, probably a year ago. I don't remember what month I got it, though. It had to be, let me think. I think it was just after New Year's. Excuse me. So it just plays so good, and it sounds so good, and the tone is awesome. It's got a great neck. Super fast neck. It's reinforced with carbon fiber. Check this out. Let's go to the back cam, so you could see these two strips are carbon fiber, and then it's a 5-piece neck, so it's maple, and then the carbon fiber reinforcement. It goes all the way through to the top of the headstock. Let's move that over. You can see it. Oh, maybe there you go. Yeah. So it's a super stable guitar, and then the frets are stainless steel, so that's pretty awesome. They're not going to wear out anytime soon. Yes, it's a very different neck than the gem. The gem is a little thinner this way and fatter in the back. And this is like a super flat and a wider neck. And I really like that because my first real guitar when I was a kid was a Kramer Pacer Deluxe. In the early 80s, I got that guitar. So I was really used to that flat, wide neck, especially for like the larger stretch, jazz chords, the major seventh stuff, and the wider stretches for like legato. So even though I have smaller hands, I like the wider stretch. I seem to get out of my own way that way. And then I got hooked onto the Parker Fly, which I love that guitar. And that was my main axe for many years. Like I was like 20 something years, if not longer. I was endorsed by them. So that was my main guitar. Yes. Yeah, it's kind of got a Jackson neck. Like I should have actually mentioned that because I do own a Jackson, and that was my first guitar with 24 frets. Was the Jackson? It's a Charvel neck through Jackson, and it's really awesome. I love that guitar too, but I don't know. I just gravitated toward the Parker Fly, especially because it had the piezo pickups. Parker is a super thin neck, yeah. So this is a little thicker than the Parker neck, but not by much. It's pretty thin, like this way, from back to front. It's real thin. And that's another reason why I like it, because it's thin, but it's a little wider than the Parker neck. So I have that better stretch for like these bigger chords. So that's kind of where we're at with guitar for me, as far as what I like to play these days. I probably would have never switched over to anything. My other favorite these days is a Strandberg. So you probably see, if you look back at my channel, you'll see that I switch between those. I switch between the Pia, the Parker Fly, and the Strandberg Bowden. Those are my three main guitars that I love. But the Parker had the piezo pickup in it, so I was doing a lot of cover gigs, and then I was part of like a rock opera that needed acoustic guitar and electric guitar, and I didn't want to have to switch guitars every other song, or walk up to a guitar on a stand to play a section that had acoustic in it. So especially with the cover band, you got momentum going in a bar, and you don't want to break anything up by switching guitars. So that was like the workhorse. Yeah, so Kiesel's great. I've played some Kiesel guitars that I liked. I like the Vader. I like the what is the Aries? Maybe it had a headstock. The Vader doesn't have a headstock, and I think the Aries has the headstock. And I really did like that guitar too. But I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I really like the feel of the Parker and the Strandberg with the trapezoid neck. It's a really great guitar. Hello, Janice. How you doing? Good to see you here. Thanks for coming by. Let's see. Who else? Did I miss anybody? Jay. John Ramsey. Hello, John. There he is. There it is. There it is. Good evening, Vince Janelle and What's Cooking Wendy and everybody. Very good. Yeah. I am tuned up and ready to jam too. I think I'm going to do one. I think I'm going to do another one. Hey, Jason is on. Hello, Jason. Oops, missed him. Comments, people commenting quick. Boom. I'll go back. Feel okay with the balance of the headless necks? Yeah, I do. I really like the headless guitars. They're great. I love the Strandberg. I have one sitting here. I'll probably play that after I play this. It's got a neck through, which is really awesome. They stopped making the neck through Bowdens, so I was lucky enough to snag two of them. One is a Prague, which is a hum and a hum, so that was more like the Parker. And then I wound up getting a Fusion, which is this setup, hum single hum. And the wood on each guitar is different, so they sound a little different. And the Fusion has a toggle, 5-way toggle, that when you pull up the tone knob, it turns into another 5 tones. So you basically can get 10 very distinct tones out of the Bowden Prague. I just missed here we go. There's Jason. Jason. I don't even remember it from when I showed it to you. Something like that. Oh, man. Let's see. Anyone else hanging out that I missed? No, but Dwight says, yeah, my USA Randy Rhoads Jackson guitars are neck through, and 2 of them are 24 frets. They're great. That was another guitar, and I don't own a Randy Rhoads Jackson. I always wanted one. I wanted the one that he had, though, not with the Floyd Rose, and it had the boomerang-looking tailpiece, and it has to be black and gold. I guess Randy Rhoads and, like, Les Paul, the guy, really got me hooked on black with gold hardware guitars back in the day. So I've always, like, dug this look. And I'll make the joke again, kind of like me, black with gold hardware. You know, I'm always dressed in black. And I got my my few chains, way less than Mr. T and Yngwie Malmsteen, but I do have them. A friend of mine made me this pick when we were in high school, when we graduated high school. So it's an actual replica, same size as my Jazz 3 Dunlap. I moved to California, had a going away party, and him and his brother had a jewelry business. The first year out of high school, they opened up a jewelry business, and I went to be a rock star in California. And on the back of the pick, they engraved, "To Vince, get a real job, Anthony and Albert." So since then, they got out of the jewelry business, and I got out of the rock star business. I'm just doing the old teaching, and lessons and studio work. Yeah. Let's see. DR strings are something. Was a bit of a shortage in Canada. I had to order from the States. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't know why. I guess everything is all screwy now. It takes weeks to just get normal stuff that would show up the next day. So I don't know what's going on. I know they're handmade here in New Jersey. They have the factory, and one of these days I really have to go. They invited me. I got to really go out and check out the place. It's not that far away. So I should do that. Because I've been using them since, oh my goodness, the early 90s. Yeah, I've been using DR strings since then. And here and there I get tugged in different directions. When I got the Petrucci Majesty, I gave Ernie Ball a call because I had some questions. And they were really cool. Their customer service was amazing, actually. I didn't even buy the guitar new. I bought it used. And they really hooked me up with some stuff that I needed. And then he was like, "Do you use our strings?" I said, "No, I'm endorsed by DR." And he's like, "Yeah, let me send you some stuff. Tell us what you think." So he sent me the Cobalt, the Extra Slinkies, and what was the other one? The Paradigms in 8s. And that's what's on here. The Paradigm in 8s. And these things are ridiculous. I've had these on since I got this guitar, at least a year ago. And knock on wood, I haven't broken them. And they stay in tune, and they're still like new. Like, they're really hard to... They take a beating. So, and they told me that. They said, "These strings will last forever." And I was like, "Sure, let me try them." Let's see, we had somebody else jump on. Randy, I believe. Let's back up. Randy. Hello, Randy. Awesome looking axe, brother. Thank you. This Pia is just amazing. I really do love this guitar. It's a newer guitar in the arsenal. I just really love it. It's super sporty. Yeah, it's like a sports car. The thing is great. It's stainless steel frets on it. Really, really cool. Yes, see, I just said stainless frets will tell you the truth. Yes, they will. And this guitar has stainless, and these strings have been on for a year, so they're pretty killer. And what did you say about Cobalts? Cobalts are good. Yeah, I put those on the Petrucci model. Those are on the Majesty, and they sound great too. There's just something about these. They feel real slinky, like extra weird, like just rubbery, but they're not. They're just really comfortable. But all my other guitars have the Dimebag Darrell, the DR, what are those called? High voltage. The DR high voltage, and then I have the Veritas on the Parker Fly. And then on my Strandberg, I put the pink neons on here, which I did these in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And you can see I've worn down the thinner strings. You could see, especially where I pick and where I play a lot, you could see the pink is worn off. But they held up. They really do. And this is the neck through I was talking about. So this is the Prague neck through, which I believe the Plini model is based off of. And this thing is sick. I love this guitar. Great guitar. I'll probably play that tonight for a bit too before we hang up. But yeah, the P is a beast. Love it. Let's see. Hey, Bobby Shannon's here. What's up? Still loving the show. Cool. Still loving the show, babe. XXX. Nice. Oh, thanks. I guess that was actually to Wendy, but sure. I'll take it. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see. Back in Black. Ah, yeah. That's where we're at here with this guitar. Might as well play it for a moment, right? Every time I play that now, all I hear is this mashup that I was in this like 70s, 80s tribute band. It was more like a great music band. Tribute to great music. So they did everything from Deep Purples in the 60s and 70s all the way up to now. I think we did, what's that guy's name? Oh, I can't think of them. Anyway, they were all over the place, but it was all quality tunes that were pretty tough. We did stuff like Kashmir. Anyway, so what they did with this song is they took the AC/DC tune, Back in Black, and threw a Bee Gees tune over the top vocally. And we actually had to rearrange some of the chords. So in the chorus, instead of it going, I think we had to change that to a G instead of an A. So some of the stuff was reversed and it was a little weird. But I'll tell you what, every time we did that tune, nobody was ready for those Bee Gees lyrics to come in. They were just like blown away, and it worked. It was nuts. So, and then of course the diehard AC/DC fans were just so upset. They're like, "How could you do that to a song like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's fun." Hey, it's Marcus. DR shirt for the win. Yes, sir, DR. Why can't we get this? There we go. I was pulling on the guitar strap. DR strings. They're awesome. I love that company. Funny story for the DR, for the people who haven't been here, when I talked about DR strings during Guitar Month, I had been using DR strings and I was the manager of a music store way back in the early mid 90s, and wound up, always on the phone with the people at DR Strings. And then I wound up becoming endorsed by DR Strings. I never met anybody from DR Strings, just always talked to them on the phone. And this one time, in an airplane, coming back from Sweden, I'm sitting reading a guitar magazine, and I happen to turn to a double ad of DR Strings. And this guy's walking down the aisle of the plane, and he stops and he points and he goes, "Those are my strings." And I'm like, "Oh, you use those too?" And we both kind of look at each other, and I said, "Wait a minute, you sound familiar." And he goes, "I was just going to say that about you." And then as he's talking, I'm like, "Holy cow, you're Anthony from DR." He's like, "Who? Like, I know your voice. Where are you from?" I said, "Yeah, I'm Vince." He's like, "No way." We were coming home from Sweden, the both of us on the same plane. It was nuts. It was probably 2001. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So anyhow, at the time, I was married to a Swedish girl, and his wife is Swedish. And we were both coming back from visiting the in-laws. It was hilarious. So anyway, Anthony from DR, great guy. So we wound up just chatting on the plane and stuff. And then after that, he came to some clinics that I did with Stu Ham, and he brought like a boatload of strings for me to throw out to people, which was really awesome. And then he answered everybody's questions. We kind of did a little string thing with him, so that was really fun. So he would come out to a couple of the local clinics that we did with Stu, which was really awesome. Yeah. Mr. Formiati, I see people saying hi to you, but I don't see you. Where are you? Where are you? I gotta scroll back a bit, I guess. I'm looking at comments from everything, so you're probably like the top comments on YouTube, probably. Oh, there you are. Sorry I missed you, man. Mr. Formiati, all the way from Australia. He's a tomorrow man. He's a future man. 14 hours ahead, I think. Yeah. 14 time zones away. Pretty awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to play a little bit because I was supposed to come on and just kind of practice. But now I'm talking. What's all that about? All right. Let's see. Let's get this software out of the way. Zip. And let's get you. All right. So let's see what the fingers are in shape for tonight. I have not played in a few days. We'll try an original. All right. Let's see. Is that going to be queued up? We'll see what happens when I hit go. So this one's called Funk Me Silly. It's an original. And I'm going to put the strap on 2. So it's a little higher. All right, here we go. Very cool. Thank you, thank you. Awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's a fun tune. Definitely a fun tune. I think I got the ending right tonight. Oh, yes. Let's have a sip. Sip of coffee. So how's everybody doing? Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Timothy. Awesome. Let's jam that one live sometime. Schultz, Jim Schultz. Yes, I would love to. That would be really cool. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I guess the last time I played was with you with Jake in August. And I used this guitar. And we were outside in 108-degree weather. 108 degree, I think it was 108 degrees. It might have been more because we were in direct sunlight and it was the hottest day ever in August. And yeah, I think it was more like 115. It was crazy. And there was no top. Baking. Baking was an understatement. We were more like burnt in the frying pan. It was hot. But we all did the sun block and all of that fun stuff, and we had a ton of water, so nobody got any sun poisoning or heat exhaustion or anything like that. And literally, you drink a whole bottle of water, and it didn't even like phase you. Like, you didn't need to sweat, you didn't need to go to the bathroom. It was just like you drank the water and your body absorbed it. It was so hot. And we played for 4 hours. That's right. We had the Army helicopter or whatever that was. The Black Hawk. Yeah, that thing was awesome. That thing was cool. Let's see. Yes. All ears here. Mr. Rock. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, let's do another one. Let's do another one. What do we have on deck here? Let's do Take You There. Not yet. Nope. I don't want to do it yet. Thank you. Stop. All right. Let me grab a pick here and get myself together with the preset that I need. Let's see. All right. Now we're good. Now we can do that song. Jim Schultz. Yes, just come over and hang out. We'll have to kidnap Rob and get him here, and then maybe we'll do something live. Maybe we can get Wendy. Do a couple of tunes. Yeah, that'll be cool. So yeah, we have to schedule that. Just come here, we'll go live. Then everybody will get to see the other half of the studio with the drums and the bass rig. That's right. What's Frank saying? Peace. Thank you. Thank you. Same to you, man. Thanks for hanging out here. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm going to do another one. Let's see. I'm going to do Take You There, like I said, but I think it's queued up and ready to go now. All right, here we go. Give you guys the good audio. Mute the microphone. right, little Zero Gravity there, original. And the one before that was Take You There, another original. Thanks, Frank. Let's see. I think there was a question. Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Dwight. Awesome. Let's see. Steve Vai preference. Yeah, how, I love Mr. Vai. Thank you. But I don't really know any of his tunes. I never went really out of my way to figure anything out by him unless I was asked by a student to figure something out. But I never learned a song to play. People ask me to play stuff, and I should probably learn something by him and Satriani. Back when Surfing with the Alien came out, I figured out Satch Boogie, but I didn't have any bands that wanted to play it because it was too new and it was weird. People were like, oh, we're not going to play an instrumental during our cover band gig. That was unheard of. So, and then I learned Summer Song, and Jim Schultz is probably hanging out here, and every time I talk about this, it's like, you get that little nudge in the side, like, oh. But we learned it for our cover band years ago, and we never wound up playing it because the rest of the band never learned it. But I should relearn a couple of those tunes and do them just for fun. I've had people ask me to do Flying in a Blue Dream. Yeah, he's still here. Yep, that happened. True story. Me and Jim figured it out, and then nobody else played it. Yes. But that tune's great. I remember some of it. Has that cool harmonic thing, which is not that at all. I'm finding it. It's there. There it is. Oh, hold on. I had a cool little run there. Cool tune. I should learn it again. Yeah. And then Bad Horsey's awesome. Love that song. And then my favorite, I think, Steve Vai song of all time is one of his newer ones. Not off the latest album, but the album before. Is Gravity Storm. That one's really great. Love that tune. But I don't really know any of their songs all the way through. Again, it's usually when students ask me to learn like a melody or part of the song is when I figure their stuff out. Let's see. There was something about one of my tunes, though. I think it was Mr. Rock asked the question. Where was it? Was that... What was it? Mixolydian. So maybe that was... Take You There, I think. Maybe that was the one you were talking about. Where are you? I can't even play my own song. Gee whiz. Forget it. So really, it's in the key of D. So the tonal center is really D. Yeah, and then like the verses go to B minor, so it's just the key of D, um, because it would have had an A chord if it was in Mixolydian. But depending on how you're hearing it, it could lead that way. Certain chords tend to gravitate toward different tonalities, but it's really D major in the verse part or the chorus part, if you will, because that's the hook. This is the hook. And then the verse bit is B minor. So yeah, that's the whole gist of it. Yeah, Jim wants Bad Horsey. That's a great tune. I love that song. It's just so cool. I remember that was the introduction in Crossroads when he introduces Jack Butler and Steve walks in with his Jackson guitar, his Red Devil Jackson guitar, and he does that riff. Now, I believe in the movie it's in the key of E, but he detuned it for once he finally got the whole song out of his head and wrote it and made it Bad Horsey drop down to D. But yeah, that beginning riff. I never remember where it is. Anyway. Awesome tune as well. But yeah, all of these guys like totally influenced my playing as far as the tones go. Like that sound, like their guitar sound, Jimi Hendrix, Van Halen, Steve Vai, Randy Rhoads, of course. Those are all my influences, Joe Satriani. So really, like, my tone is built around those guys. So I have the reminiscence of those particular sounds, I guess. But I don't think my originals really sound like Steve Vai. It'd be cool, but I think it's just the genre that I get, put into instrumental rock guitar. So, but yeah, it's just fun. A lot of my tunes start out as practice tunes. I'll loop something and work it out, and then it becomes something else. So I would basically just put, back in the day, my drum machine on, and then on my 4-track I would just record chord progressions and then rewind it and practice a mode over it, like literally like what you said before was that Mixolydian. So I would do something like a Mixolydian type progression where it would just be like an A7 type thing, or whatever, and then I would just work on the scale. And then you start coming up with cooler ways to practice. So then I would change the chords and then start working on melodies and come up with stuff. That's how Funk Me Silly started. Same with Gravity Storm. Those are just a couple of examples. But I would loop like that section for Funk Me Silly. Let's see if I can remember it. How the heck does the verse go? So that was kind of like a Stevie Ray Vaughan influence, that song, believe it or not. And then Vince happened to it, and then it sounds nothing like Stevie Ray Vaughan anymore. But in the background, those are the chords. And you got to have that funkier sound on. So that's all going on underneath the crazy guitar solo part. And then, of course, to really drive that tune home, I have the fabulous Stu Hamm on bass on that one. And he's also on, what else? WMD. He's on Mojo Madness, which I don't think anybody's heard yet. I haven't played that one because it's really a tough song for me to play. And then Off in the Distance he's on, and I think that's it. Maybe he's on Bleeding Heart. Nope, I'm on Bleeding Heart. I played fretless bass on that song. Hey! Where is he? Where is he? He's here saying hello to Wendy, but I think there he is. Thank you, my friend. Gaurav is awesome as well. You should go check him out. He's got a really cool band. Oh, I can't remember the name of your band. I'm sorry. Ice. What is it? Something to do with ice, I believe. But anyway, put the name of your band up there, man, and people check out Gaurav. He's an awesome guitar player. So, let's see who else is hanging out. Cool, Janice was playing along with that. Awesome. Cool. Let's see. Frozen. Jeez, Frozen. Ice, Frozen. Frozen is the name of his band. Jeez. The Frozen. Check out Gaurav. Alright, what else? What did I miss something here? Bad Horsey, I saw that. Ah, Frank wants to play me some Randy Rhoads. Alright. Mostly what I can remember is basically Crazy Train. But I used to know all of that stuff. I Don't Know. Let's see, we'll go with the larger pick for this. Oof, right hand is not warmed up. Great song. Oh man, I can't remember the solo. I Don't Know is my favorite. Yes. It's such a great tune. And the solo, all those parts in there are just so great. Let's see if I can remember it. Oh, it's like Reflex. It's starting to come back. Oh, where's the solo? Oh, man, I don't remember it. Yeah, I have to really go back and learn these tunes again. So that was like that was my life in, what year was that? 1982? I don't remember what year he passed away, and I didn't know he died. So I'm thinking like, oh, this is awesome. And I went to my guitar teacher and I started figuring stuff out. I had one guy that came to the house, this guy Ross, and I remember at one point I wanted to learn SATO. Oh man, I don't know if I can remember that. Oh man. Anyway, SATO, great song. But anyway, then I went to another guitar teacher and he started showing me some other stuff and modes, because I was learning all of this stuff by ear, but I didn't know what it was called. And I was just figuring this all out with the help of my guitar teacher too. But then at one point he came by. I wanted to learn SATO, and he's like, oh, that one's really tough. Let's wait for that one. And I was just like determined. So he left, and I spent like the next 12 hours in my room figuring out SATO until I got it by ear with no slow me down tracks or no separation software. It was just me, my guitar, my tape deck, and my ear. And he came back the next week, and he's like, who showed you that? I think he was mad at me. He's like, who showed you that? And I was like, nobody. I did that by myself. And he's like, you're not taking lessons with anybody else? I'm like, no, I figured that out by myself. And then after that Ross, I wound up getting another Ross as a guitar teacher. And he was awesome too. So I wound up learning both of those. and really, really cool stuff. Randy, like, I learned so much from him and Eddie Van Halen. Those were my first two guitar teachers, really. I learned so much from that. Awesome stuff. But yeah, let's see. Crazy Train, of course, everybody plays Crazy Train. Such awesome riffs. Ah, Mr. Crowley. Yeah, Mr. Crowley. Oh, how's that go? There it is. I can't remember those riffs, but yeah, all great stuff. I used to figure out both albums, and then I guess what I was gonna say was I finally went to my guitar teacher, and I'm like, all right, so my mom's like, enough playing Ozzy, you know the songs, like move on to another band. Or so I went to my guitar teacher and I'm like, oh, does Ozzy have any more albums? And he's like, no, not with Randy Rhoads, he died. And I was like, oh, it was like I was crushed. I didn't know what to do. I'm sitting at my guitar lesson, he tells me Randy Rhoads died, and I was like almost in tears. I was like, are you kidding me? The dude's dead? Like, nobody told me that. Like that Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker moment. Why didn't you tell me? Yeah. Randy Rhoads, Van Halen, all of that stuff. That was all my original roots. Yeah. All right, so let's see. I'll probably play one more and call it a night. Loved your Randy Rhoads Mother story. Would love to hear it again. Oh, man. Sure, why not? For anybody who's new hanging around, maybe Mr. Rock wasn't here for that one, I don't think. But yeah, years ago, I moved out to LA to do a band project. And one of the last, I believe, days I was there, I think it was the last day I was there, I was like, what can I do today that I haven't done? And I was like, oh man, let me see if I can go visit Dolores Rhoads. So I call Musonia Music and thinking like, someone's going to answer the phone and give me the runaround. So I call and, hello, Musonia Music. I'm like, hi, my name's Vince. I'm a big fan of Randy Rhoads, and I'm wondering if I could speak to Dolores Rhoads. And she's like, you got her. And I almost fell over. I was like, what? So she's like, yeah, you got her. This is her. Would you like to, what's up? And I said, well, I'd love to come down and meet you and see the store. And, I'm a big fan of Randy's. And I, went through the whole thing, how I spent hours figuring out riffs, the whole bit. And she's like, well, I have a break at 4 o'clock today. If you want to come down, that's my last lesson. And I was like, sure. So I lived in, I think it was Canyon Country. And where the heck was the store? Santa Monica, I believe. It was like an hour away. I just got in the car and went. So I went down and wound up getting to meet her, and she showed me around the store. She showed me Randy's lesson room where he taught with some scrap paper lessons that he was writing for people. And it was really awesome. Just my hair on my arms is standing up. I can feel it just talking about it because it was such a moment to meet my hero's mother, the next best thing to meeting my guitar hero. Because that was 1989 when I was in California. 1989, 1990-ish. So right around, yeah, so 89 and 90 was when I was out there. So it was really awesome. So Randy was still super fresh. I don't even think I was turned on to Steve Vai yet all that much. So it was still Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen, and probably like the Judas Priest guys. So like meeting her was just ridiculous for me. So it was really amazing, and getting to see where he taught. And she's like, "You could sit in the chair," and I was just like, "I'm not worthy to sit in the chair." You know, it's like really crazy. But of course I did. And I think there was still like a cigarette in the ashtray because he smoked, and there was a music stand, his seat, the student's seat, and like a little desk type thing, like a countertop had stuff on it. So it was really awesome. And then she had me sign this book and just told me some stuff about Randy, and it was just really awesome, really, really cool. And she signed something which I have framed. She signed the back of a Musonia Music School business card. So I have that. And then recently, Randy Rhoads got inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I believe I posted something about it, and his sister liked my post, and I almost fell over. So I messaged her privately, and I just said, "Wow, thank you for even liking my post and acknowledging that I exist." Like, wow. And it was a picture of that wall right there. I remember that. And it was on Instagram, and she liked it. So then I wound up messaging her and just telling her, that I got to meet her mother, who since then has passed away, and how great her mom was to me. And then her and I had a little exchange via, I guess it was either Facebook or Instagram, probably Instagram. And she's equally cool and really wants to keep Randy's whole legacy going. So, she always posts about Randy. It's really cool stuff. But I was really surprised when she liked my post because she saw the Randy Rhoads V guitar back there. Yeah. So cool. Yes, it was really cool. And by the way, hello, Epiphonium. Oh, yes. Let's see. Did you get to see who else might have signed the book? No, that book was 1,000,000 pages. It looked like, literally, it looked like the Bible, like Moses. Like, it was huge. I can't even describe to you how big this book was. It was ridiculous. It was probably 7 inches on each side opened to the page that I was on. And that was in 1989 or 1990. Well, I stayed there so it was probably my last day. Yeah, it was probably like almost, it had to be 1990. So I'm sure there were thousands more, if not more than thousands, that have gone and made it a pilgrimage. I just happened to call and got lucky that she was there, and lucky that she was super kind to show me around. But I couldn't even tell you names. But I do know that George Lynch took over Randy's spot for a while, and so did, I can't think of his name right now. And she told me about this. Like, she's like, there's some other famous guitar players that taught here. And she told me about George. She told me about, oh man, I can't remember his name. Anyway, it was just great to talk and listen to her tell me about Randy. It was really cool. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was such a great thing. Yep. Do you know if the book exists today? Probably. There's probably a few books. I'm not sure if Musonia is still open. I think it is. I think it's still open. And I believe his sister and his brother take care of, everything. And I believe they still teach. Not them, not his sister and the brother, but I believe they still have teachers there. I'm not sure. Maybe we should Google it. I don't know. I honestly can't say for sure whether that place is still open or not. But that was really cool that after his win at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I posted that picture, and his sister acknowledged it, and that was great. And then she was equally nice. Like I said, we had a little exchange via chat there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thanks for being here and saying hi. Two-way mirror, hello. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah. Couple of really thanks, man. Couple of really great moments like that. But that was probably one of the biggest for sure. That is some great history there. Yeah, and I hope that school is at least a museum now or something, like tribute to Randy, because that would be terrible if it's not. Yeah. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, wow. Didn't realize what time it was. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, that's for sure. So let's see. But I had an equally great experience with Eddie Van Halen, which, maybe I'll save for another live. I'll make a note. So you'll have to tune in next time. We'll talk about the Edward Van Halen experience. Yeah, Eddie's another one who was equally super kind. I know a lot of times people said otherwise about him, especially when he was younger. But aren't we all a little bit crazy when we're younger? Don't really get it, You meet people and you just kind of, I met, you try and be nice or whatever, but you don't realize the impact you have on somebody. And everybody has bad days. You got to remember that. So, I've met some people. I told you my Ace Frehley story. The first time I met him, he was a complete jerk. Complete jerk. I couldn't even say that I hated him. Literally hated him. I ripped his poster off the wall and gave it to my student who really liked him, and he was begging me for the poster, and I was like, you know what? Here, take it. He's an idiot. I don't like him. And then that night, swear to God, like I said the last time I told the story, I met Ace at the China Club in New York, and he bought me a beer, and he hung out and talked to me. So he redeemed himself. So it's like, oh man, like how can you never know what was going on with people. So you can't dislike someone because you met them for that one moment in time. These rock stars have to put up with a lot of crap. It's like unbelievable how much stuff they have to deal with. So everybody's moody. What can you do? What's that? Like old Batman, same time, same channel. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to go live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I think. I'm not sure. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30. Today I went on a little earlier. I went on at 9. But it's going to be 9 or 9:30, so mark it on your calendars and whatnot. And if you haven't already, please sub up. I know Epiphonium is, but if anybody else is new here, hit the subscribe and the bell wherever you are. Not Thursday. Okay, not Thursday. Was it Friday? We can't do Friday. Friday this week isn't going to work. So I'll be on Wednesday. I'll be on Wednesday for sure. But Thursday, I teach pretty late, so I get done and then I just jump on. So it would be 9:30. And Friday's not happening because we're going to have visitors. So Friday night is not happening. I know that for sure. But anyway, everybody, thanks for being here. I really appreciate everybody hanging out with me, and Wendy, of course. And, it's fun chatting and playing. And I will see you guys. Let's see what time it is. So, been on for an hour and 25 minutes. We will do one song and call it a night. How's that? One song, 1 5-minute tune, and call it a night. Let's see. What do we have that's 5 minutes or less hanging out right here? Let's see. We'll do this. We'll do a little Espionage by Green Day. This is my favorite Green Day song, by the way. And maybe people didn't even know this was Green Day, but it's Green Day. And it was in the movie, what movie? Austin Powers. And it's a great tune. So here you go. Green Day, Espionage, and then I'll come back and say goodnight. Oh, I can't help myself with this tremolo bar. I gotta do those crazy dives and pulls. All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a good night, and I'll see you all Wednesday. Be well. See you soon.